Before we dive into today's segment, it's essential to acknowledge the buzz around the Green Bay Packers as they made a significant move just before Day 2 of the 2026 NFL Draft. Yes, the front office has secured wide receiver Jayden Reed with a hefty 3-year extension, locking him in for a total of $50.25 million. But the immediate chatter among fans and analysts is all about Christian Watson. Where are you watching from? And what's your take on Watson's future with the Packers? Let's delve into the implications of Reed's contract and what it means for Watson's role going forward. With Reed's new deal in the books, questions are swirling regarding Watson's fit within the Packers' long-term financial framework. However, General Manager Brian Gutekunst has stepped in to quell any uncertainty, assuring fans that Watson's future remains a top priority for the organization. He emphasized that extending Reed was about rewarding a player who elevates the team's performance on the field, not a signal that Watson is expendable. The Packers see both players as integral to their high-octane offense. Watson, standing tall at 6'4" and blessed with incredible speed, is the kind of player who can keep defensive coordinators up at night. His presence on the field stretches defenses vertically, creating space for other playmakers like Reed. He's not just a target, he's a game changer. When healthy, he has the potential to transform the entire offensive scheme, making him an invaluable asset. But here's the crux of the issue: health. Over his first 4 seasons, Watson has played in 48 games, but injuries have sidelined him for significant stretches, including a season where he only participated in 10 contests, logging 35 catches for 611 yards and 6 touchdowns. These injury concerns make the decision to extend him a complex one, especially with the pressure mounting after the departures of Romeo Dew and the trade of Dontavian Wicks to the Eagles. Gutekunst's commitment to Watson is clear, but the timeline for a contract extension remains uncertain. The Packers could finalize a deal before the 2026 season kicks off, which would not only secure Watson's future, but also eliminate any distractions as they head into the new campaign. On the other hand, the team might choose to wait and see how Watson performs in the early season, giving him a chance to demonstrate that he can handle a full workload without health issues. Regardless of the path they take, Gutekunst's public statements should offer some solace to the fan base. The Packers are building a formidable, young core of offensive talent, and they intend to keep this group intact for the long haul. As Watson prepares for the 2026 season, he can do so knowing that the organization is firmly behind him. Expect him to come out with a chip on his shoulder, determined to deliver a fully healthy and dominant season, solidifying his role in the Packers' future. As we transition into the next news item, the focus remains on how these decisions will impact the team's overall strategy moving forward. The excitement is palpable, and the stakes have never been higher for our beloved Packers. Let's keep the momentum going and see what else is unfolding in Green Bay. The second day of the 2026 NFL Draft was a whirlwind for the Green Bay Packers, as the front office made its intentions clear. They're not merely here to participate, they're here to compete. After making a strong move by selecting cornerback Brandon Cisse in the second round, they took another aggressive step forward by trading up to acquire defensive tackle Chris McClellan in the third. But the night didn't end there. General Manager Brian Gutekunst revealed that the Packers were actively trying to maneuver their way back into the latter part of the third round before the evening concluded. Now, there's a lot to unpack here, especially regarding the team's draft strategy, their evaluation of the remaining talent, and their commitment to safeguarding future draft capital. Trading back into the late third round is not a trivial matter. After moving their original third-round pick and a fifth-rounder to snag McClellan, the Packers' draft capital took a hit. According to draft value charts, moving back into the third round, around the 100th overall selection, typically requires significant compensation. Gutekunst's comments about taking some cracks at securing that pick indicate they were willing to make a move, but the asking prices were steep, and the lack of willing trade partners ultimately kept them from pulling the trigger. What's critical here is that the Packers are no longer in a position where they feel compelled to make picks just to make picks. The roster has stabilized over the last couple of seasons, and the front office is now focused on acquiring specific impact players rather than taking random shots in the dark. This shift in philosophy speaks volumes about their confidence in the current roster and their strategic approach to the draft. The driving force behind the Packers' attempts to trade back into the third round is straightforward. They see talent on the board that they covet. Gutekunst expressed that the board is strong, which suggests that the team had several highly rated prospects still available as the third round began to close. This abundance of talent explains their willingness to explore trade options, even after sacrificing a fifth-round pick earlier in the evening. Looking ahead to day 3, the Packers find themselves in a favorable position. They've retained enough picks to remain flexible in the 4th and 5th rounds. Gutekunst even indicated that he wouldn't mind moving around a bit on Saturday, hinting at the potential for more strategic trades. Fans should be prepared for some early morning excitement, as the front office aims to capitalize on sliding talent. Perhaps one of the most intriguing aspects of the Packers' trade attempts is their strategy regarding future draft picks. While many teams eager to move up often consider leveraging their picks from the following year, Gutekunst exhibited a firm stance against parting with any 2027 assets. This reluctance to compromise future opportunities underscores the high regard the Packers' scouting department has for the projected 2027 draft class. By holding on to those future picks, Gutekunst has maintained a balance between pursuing immediate needs and preserving the long-term health of the franchise. This ongoing commitment to winning now, without sacrificing future stability, is a significant message from the Packers front office. As the 2026 NFL Draft approaches its final day, the Packers have successfully secured 2 high-priority targets early on and possess enough mid-round capital to dictate their strategy moving forward. It will be fascinating to see how Gutekunst navigates those remaining picks to pursue talented players who may have slipped under the radar, all while keeping the 2027 draft stockpile intact. As we transition to the next segment, it remains to be seen how the Packers will leverage their resources and what surprises may unfold as day 3 kicks off. Keep your eyes peeled, because the draft excitement is far from over. As we dive into the final segment of our draft overview, it's clear that the Green Bay Packers have made some strategic moves to bolster their roster. General Manager Brian Gutekunst has kicked off this draft by prioritizing their most pressing needs, and he's done so effectively with his first 2 picks. The selection of cornerback Brandon Cisse at pick 52 and the trade up for defensive tackle Chris McClellan at pick 77 showcases a clear plan to reinforce the defense, which has been a point of concern in recent seasons. Now, as we shift focus to day 3 of the draft, the Packers are looking to add depth and secure potential special teams contributors. The anticipation is palpable as Green Bay fans wonder who will step up next. Fans, where are you watching from? Leave your thoughts in the comments below on how you feel about these picks and what you think the Packers still need to address. One player who has garnered considerable interest from the Packers is Mike Washington Jr., a running back prospect with a lot of potential. The Packers hosted him for a 30 visit and followed up with a meeting that suggests they are seriously considering him. Washington could be the ideal complement to Josh Jacobs in 2026, and potentially even his successor in 2027 if the team decides to go younger at the position. His explosive play style and impressive athleticism, scoring a 9.88 RAS, make him an enticing option to add some firepower to the backfield. Washington's impressive stats speak for themselves. He forced 34 missed tackles as a runner and averaged 3.9 yards after contact, demonstrating both power and balance. Gutekunst must be weighing these attributes heavily, especially as he considers the best fit for the future of the Packers' running game. If the board falls right, round 4 could be the perfect opportunity to snag Washington, giving the Packers a dynamic piece to work with. While the Packers have solidified their top receivers with recent contract extensions, including Jayden Reed, there remains a need for depth, particularly with Sky Moore on a 1-year deal. This is where Josh Cameron could come into play. Standing at 6'1" and 220 pounds, Cameron mirrors the size and skill set of Romeo Dew and the recently departed Dontavian Wicks. His ability to return punts, having averaged 20.7 yards per return, could provide the Packers with valuable insurance in the return game while he develops into a more significant receiving role. Defensively, Gutekunst clearly recognizes the need for bolstering the secondary. After selecting Cisse, the addition of cornerback Charles Demings in the 6th round could provide a much-needed complement. Demings, who has shown a knack for ball skills with 9 interceptions over his college career, brings a fiery tenacity that could energize the Packers' defense. His determination and confidence are evident, as he stated his readiness to compete against any receiver at the highest level. This kind of mindset is crucial for a team looking to return to its defensive roots. Now, let's turn our attention to the quarterback position. With the departure of Malik Willis, Gutekunst may still be considering his options for a solid backup. Enter Robertson, a quarterback with significant experience and a strong resume. With 24 starts and over 3,600 passing yards in his final college season, he could potentially carve out a role as the backup in Green Bay. The competition will be fierce, especially with Desmond Ridder and Kyle McCord also in the mix, but Robertson's experience could give him the edge. Finally, the offensive line hasn't been addressed until the very end of the draft, which raises some eyebrows. Gutekunst has expressed confidence in the depth of the line, and selecting Rucci, a former 5-star recruit, could signal a commitment to building from within. At 6'8", he may need to adapt to fit the Packers' scheme, but his size and pedigree could bring fresh competition to an already intriguing offensive line dynamic. As we wrap up our draft analysis, it's evident that the Packers have made calculated moves to address both current needs and future potential. The excitement around the team's direction is palpable, but the execution of these picks will ultimately define their success. Packers fans, what do you think of these selections and the overall direction of the team? Don't forget to leave your thoughts below, and make sure to subscribe for more in-depth analysis as we continue to follow the Packers' journey together.